Good evening, you're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. It's election season and viewers, you're soon going to be rather sick of political cliches that will fly. To put today's debate in context, let me quote you one overused one. The road to New Delhi will be via Lucknow, a vintage political cliche backed by empirical evidence of the political heavyweight that Uttar Pradesh is. Before we get into the current politics of a state that promises to be the decider in 2019, let me show you these visuals. The visuals, what's today? The visuals of people climbing over each other to literally get to the massive cake on stage has nothing to do with elections, but the cake celebrates the birthday of a politician who is giving sleepless nights to both the BJP and the Congress in Uttar Pradesh, Behan Mayawati. Now, the Bahujan Samaj Party may have 0 seats in the Lok Sabha and just 19 in the Uttar Pradesh Assembly. But Mayawati is now the most wooed leader. So when she celebrated her 63rd birthday, her new ally, Akhilesh Yadav, was in attendance. Their second meeting in just 4 days. On Sunday, she had met RJD leader Tejashwi Yadav, who had flown apparently only to wish Behan Mayawati. And now Mayawati was being talked about as a potential Prime Minister face of the opposition, triggered by her own party already splashing posters across Uttar Pradesh wishing the Prime Minister contender on her birthday. Endorsement of her Prime Minister ambitions also came from her new ally Akhilesh, who was in attendance at her birthday party. Listen in.
क्या कोई स्थिति बनेगी कि मायावती जी को आप प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में सपोर्ट करेंगे?
आपको पता है कि मैं किसको सपोर्ट करूंगा और मैंने पहले भी कहा और आज फिर कहता हूं कि उत्तर प्रदेश ने हमेशा प्रधानमंत्री दिया है और हमें खुशी होगी कि उत्तर प्रदेश से फिर एक प्रधानमंत्री बने.
Well, it is no secret that Mayawati nurses dreams of becoming the first Dalit Prime Minister of India. And on her birthday, she gave just about enough indication.
और वैसे भी अधिकांश यही प्रदेश ये भी तय करता है कि केंद्र में किसकी सरकार बनेगी और कौन देश का प्रधानमंत्री बनेगा.
Now, is it way too ambitious to harbor such dreams, or in Indian politics anything is possible, even for a party leader which currently stands at a big fat 0 in the Lok Sabha? What works in favor for Mayawati is a strong voter base, Dalit strong voter base. As a former Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister, she also enjoys a pro-poor image. Now, even as the BSP was reduced to 19 seats in 2017 assembly polls, the party got nearly 20% of the vote share, and that is a big plus, the 20% vote share. And now her alliance with Samajwadi Party can pose a huge challenge for Narendra Modi. But here is something that could dent her image. Mayawati was accused of corruption when she was in power. The BJP too is a strong contender for Dalit votes, and other than Dalit, she doesn't enjoy support of other castes.
मायावती आज दलित की बेटी नहीं, दौलत की बेटी. भ्रष्टाचारी सपा और भ्रष्टाचारी बसपा एकजुट होंगी तो ये जनता की सेवा क्या करेंगी?
Maya ji also can become Prime Minister provided largest number of members of Parliament behind her. So that's a matter of democratic principle.
Now, where does this leave the Congress? The Samajwadi Party and the BSP coming together, leaving the Congress out, with each fighting 38 seats each, leaving 2 for allies, in all probability RLD, and also leaving Rai Bareli and the constituency of Amethi uncontested for the Congress, respectively for Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi.
हम ये ऐसा नहीं क्योंकि वो पहले भी वहाँ नहीं लड़ते थे, तो अगर उनको जरूरत होगी तो हम भी छोड़ सकते हैं.
Now, bereft of support and cut up, the Congress has decided to contest all 80 seats, but chances are they might just wind up with only 2 of Rai Bareli and Amethi. Now, if anti-incumbency lowers Modi's vote share further, which is possible, debatable but possible, the combined will hope to win The BSP-SP combined will hope to win 57 seats. That will make it the largest group in parliament among the regional parties well positioned to bid for the top job, maybe to be filled in by Mayawati. But let's just cut to the big questions we are asking on To The Point this evening. Question 1. Could Mayawati be next Prime Minister contender? Question 2. Samajwadi plus BSP, big disadvantage to the Congress. And question 3. Congress now deciding to contest all 80 seats. Slighted, or is it an internal strategy? Truck. Let's cut across to our political panelists this evening. Jitendra Tripathi from the BSP. I have Ghanshyam Tiwari from the Samajwadi Party. Sanjay Jha from the Congress. Aman Sinha from the BJP. While I'd like to begin, gentlemen, with editor Research India Today, Ajit Jha. Ajit, you know, from zero right now to Lok Sabha to possibly being a Prime Minister contender, the gap is actually not that much if you look at it in sheer numbers.
Yes, that's true. In the last two elections, Assembly and Lok Sabha, Mayawati, the Bahujan Samaj Party, did not fare well at all. In fact, she was out of political reckoning. But the fact is, if you look at percentage vote, even when Mayawati has not got a single seat, whether in Assembly or Lok Sabha, her band of support is at least 20% of the vote of Uttar Pradesh. And that makes her a pivotal player in UP, especially in an alliance with the Samajwadi Party. In fact, you find not only the Samajwadi Party, but the RJD in Bihar also cozying up to Mayawati. Mayawati, the fact that she is able to transfer her entire 20% vote to any ally, any political ally who joins with her. Even if she doesn't gain, the ally ends up gaining. And as a result, she is right now there's strong indications that she looks like the prime ministerial candidate for what is emerging as a federal front, starting with Uttar Pradesh. So despite the, even if you do not see any Lok Sabha MPs with her, her ground strength is very, very strong.
You know, we're going to talk a bit more about that, Ajit, later on in the show. Let me bring in our other panelists. Let me bring in Jitendra Tripathi from the BSP. Jitendra Tripathi जी, आपने तो पोस्टर वोस्टर सब लगा दिए हैं कि अगली प्राइम मिनिस्टर मायावती जी होंगी.
जी 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 तो अभी जो हाल चल रहा है देश में, जो भाजपा में और मोदी जी ने जो प्रॉमिसेस किए थे 2014 में, जितने ज़्यादा हाई स्केल के वॉट एवर ही प्रॉमिस्ड, हाई स्केल प्रॉमिसेस, वो अपनी प्रॉमिसेस पे खरे नहीं उतरे. तो आज पूरा देश में इतना एनार्की, इतना क्योस है कि विद द सपोर्ट ऑफ द समाजवादी पार्टी we think we can overturn this government, and we are very much confident with the support of like-minded parties and like-minded voters and like-minded classes. We can overthrow this government. We do not need this government because every section of the society is...
Jitendra Tripathi ji, like-mindedness is a very different word than political opportunism. Maybe you want to use a different word, but having said that, let me bring in Ghanshyam Tiwari, SP spokesperson as well. Ghanshyam Tiwari, so the SP strongly behind Mayawati, if possibly the 37 combined now, because of course you're ceding one seat, it seems, to the RLD. If you guys broker a 57 seat, then it does seem you could be contender. So will the SP back Mayawati as Prime Minister?
Well, take a step back, and what are we talking about? We are talking about a spirit of change. And I think with the dominant political mood in the country is to change, and that is where the opposition stands. That is why at one level you may see many leaders who are saying that the mandate of 2019 will decide who the Prime Minister would be, but at another level all these leaders have similar agenda and similar sense of what people want. So we believe that change is the primary goal of this upcoming election, and we believe that that change will bring a better government, a better leader, a more honest way to represent democracy, and true talk about employment, about farmers. This is how we see this election. We do not see this election as the person who's going to lead the change. In fact, we see that person
But
as an outcome of that
Ghanshyam Tiwari,
verdict or mandate of change.
Ghanshyam Tiwari, are you in Lucknow? Have you seen the posters? Because your ally has already plastered posters of Mayawati being the Prime Minister contender.
I believe that it is the greatest aspiration of any political party and their workers to see their leaders leading the nation through an elected government. So I see nothing wrong in any posters. And we have said that we would always welcome a Prime Minister who comes from Uttar Pradesh.
Okay.
And if anything, in a very decisive BJP, the mood of this mandate was set by Uttar Pradesh through Gorakhpur, Phulpur, and through contributions of Kushasan of Yogi Adityanath ji.
Okay.
So in some way, Uttar Pradesh has led that spirit, pan-India spirit of bringing
Aman
the
Sinha,
change.
even though there were only 7, let's look at the Lok Sabha, let's look at the state elections. Only 17 seats, but a vote share of an impressive 20% where the BSP comes into play. Even if the SP-BSP combined get together and get anything over 55, possible contender there.
Well, Preeti, you asked a very specific question to my friend Ghanshyam ji, and instead of answering, he took a step back, answered everything apart from that, whether
Which you're doing, now you're doing, Aman Sinha.
Candidate or not. I'm sorry, I'm answering your question only. Please have the patience to hear me out. And neither did he at any point in time confirm, nor did Akhilesh Yadav, all through their joint press conference. At no point in time, even when this specific question was asked, he just steered clear of it and wriggled out of it. Clearly, there are about 6-8 Mahagathbandhans which are fighting against each other, claim to be fighting against BJP also. Out of those 6-8 Mahagathbandhans, we have some 22-24 people who are claiming themselves to be prime ministerial candidate. Good luck to them. But let me tell you one thing, Preeti, that none of them have endorsed or supported anybody's candidature. Mr. Rahul Gandhi announced himself as self-proclaimed prime ministerial candidate, but has he been endorsed by SP and BSP? They did not even find Congress party worthy of having any alliance or giving any seats. And so is the case with all other parties. Therefore, we are very clear. The people of this country are very clear.
Okay.
They are heading only in one direction, which is towards blessing Prime Minister Narendra Modi with yet another tenure on back of the remarkable work that he has delivered for people of this country.
All right, okay. I want to bring in Sanjay Jha here, but you know, Aman Sinha, as far as at least, I don't think Rahul Gandhi's really thrown his hat in the ring and proclaimed himself as the future Prime Minister. But having said that...
he has already said, Preeti, not once but on several occasions, he has said that yes, he may become Prime Minister. This is what he said, and it was not endorsed or supported by anybody.
Okay, because the last word on that was when Stalin said that and the Congress said, no, that's not happening. But having said that, let me bring in Sanjay Jha in. Sanjay, the question of where it really leaves the Congress and the fact that you've decided to contest all 80 seats and possibly might end up with only 2, we're going to discuss later on. Where does the Congress stand on the BSP's pitch for Mayawati for Prime Minister?
Well, Preeti is very straightforward actually. For the Congress party, the principal objective pan-India, including in Uttar Pradesh, is to defeat an incompetent, ineffective, inefficient government. Narendra Modi and his government are a monumental disaster for the country, for the youth on joblessness, for the farmers in terms of rural distress, for the economy, I think the world knows, and they have divided society. Look at the attacks on minorities and the Dalits. I think these are, you know, what I call as mammoth factors that will lead to a comprehensive rout for the BJP. I think the writing was on the wall with the state election results in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. As far as we are concerned, we are very, very clear that end of day after the results are counted, it will work out. Will this man kindly remain silent when somebody
let's not get into that. Sanjay, you haven't answered the question. What is the Congress's stand? Sanjay, what is the Congress's stand on Mayawati for Prime Minister 2019? Please answer that question.
If you don't have semblance of respect and dignity for others, then you start
stance is very clear. The Prime Minister is not the problem. You see, this election is a fight. This election is a fight between Prime Minister Modi and his corrupt, inefficient government, versus the people of India, and the opposition parties will get together and choose a prime minister. I think the Mahagathbandhan in different forms will be a huge number, and I think the parties will get together and, you know, through a political consensus, have a prime minister.
Well, the BSP already says it's going to be Mayawati. The BSP already says it's Mayawati. I want to once again very quickly bring in Ajit Jha, and let's break this down. Ajit,
alliance is also not
okay,
going to be
gentlemen, let's move on in this debate. Ajit, let's break this down. What can work for Mayawati's favor? What can work for BSP's favor? Right now, 0 seats in Lok Sabha. But having said that, impressive vote share. We know we've discussed 20%, even though the showing was 17 seats in state assembly elections. Going ahead, the best show that the BSP has ever done in Lok Sabha has been 21 seats. It has to better that tally, doesn't it? What other factors do you think that Mayawati needs to actually be a serious contender for the Prime Minister's post?
Preeti, ideally, it is very difficult to defeat Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It might be easier to defeat the BJP. The point I'm trying to make here is that if you add up the Samajwadi Party and Bahujan Samaj Party vote in Uttar Pradesh, they can challenge the BJP. But in order to defeat Prime Minister Modi, who is popular across the country, even after 4.5 years, you need the combination, you need a real Mahagathbandhan across the board. You need Congress party on the board in order to defeat the BJP.
Across the country,
unless and until the Samajwadi Party BSP alliance takes other players into account, especially the Congress, I think they have a very tough job defeating Prime Minister Modi. So if it should be Modi versus all in order to ensure the defeat of the BJP. If it is merely SP-BSP, then I think there's a certain amount of risk in that.
Okay.
And that, I think, right now, Mayawati's anger is because the Congress ended up sidestepping her in Madhya Pradesh and in Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh.
Is that okay? Let's take that question.
So right now they are not.
Let's take that question to Mr. Tripathi from the BSP. The anger towards the Congress, Jitendra Tripathi, where does that stem from? Being slighted in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh?
Ma'am, actually, in Madhya Pradesh, we were demanding a certain number of seats, and the Congress was not ready to give those number of seats. So we could not arrive at a consensus. So from there, the problem started. So in context of UP, when Samajwadi Party and BSP, we are fighting the elections together, we are not. We do not require the Congress to be with us, because it is a simple reason for that is our vote gets transferred to the Congress, and the Congress vote doesn't get transferred to the BSP or the SP alliance. So we do not require Congress in UP with us.
So Sanjay, do you want to come in at this point of time? Because exactly what you said to them during Rajasthan elections, they're telling you exactly the same thing right now going into Lok Sabha 2019. Where does that leave the Congress? You just might end up with 2 seats now.
Preeti, I think I have a lot of respect for Mr. Jha. But first, let us explore this myth of this Narendra Modi invulnerability. In Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan, when he campaigned, 75% of BJP MLAs lost their seats. So, all that hype and hoopla that Narendra Modi is the big formidable factor, I think he's already dissipated, and it's a diminishing utility as far as I think the numbers are clearly indicating.
Sanjay, it's not about Modi. It's not about Mr. Modi. I'm asking about the Congress in Uttar Pradesh.
Prime Minister being sworn in May 2019.
You can think wishfully.
Yeah, I'm answering you. As Mr. Akhilesh Yadav ji correctly mentioned, the new Prime Minister will be from Uttar Pradesh, and I can tell you this with complete confidence. The Congress party won 22 seats in 2019. There is a massive tailwind in favor of the party. Mr. Rahul Gandhi is now actually completely overtaken.
So you're saying Rahul Gandhi is also a contender?
Not just social media, but in terms of reputation.
So Sanjay, are you saying Rahul Gandhi is also a contender now?
I think Mr. Rahul Gandhi is going to be a very critical factor. No. Preeti, you are not hearing what I'm saying. I'm saying the Congress party will be the fulcrum or the linchpin of an opposition victory. And end of day, Mr. Rahul Gandhi himself said, Prime Minister's ambition is not the issue. The question is that we need to defeat
Aman Sinha,
an anti-democratic.
Aman Sinha, do you think the entire arithmetic of the Bharatiya Janata Party is going to be upset now?
The political parties will get together and choose a prime minister.
Okay, Aman Sinha wants to come and make a point. Aman Sinha, yes,
This
come.
was the analogy he was using.
You will have a non-BJP prime minister.
Let me tell you, Preeti, that even after 2014, BJP has tripled its number of states. We were in 4-5 states. Today we are in 16 states. And the Congress party has halved the number of states that it had into going after 2014 general elections. By any logic, by any reasoning, if you see, the popularity of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has grown by leaps and bounds, and if Congress party does not acknowledge it, they can live in a wishful world and keep imagining whatever they wish to. But the fact of the matter is that Mr. Rahul Gandhi, he seems to be a big burden package of Congress party.
One second. It's not about Mr. Modi. One second. Why are we derailing this debate? No, why are we derailing this debate? It's not about. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, Ghanshyam Tiwari, can I just come to you? Can we get away from this argument?
Interrupting. You take one consistent line. Don't behave like your own party being self-contradictory and self-defeatist all the time.
No, one second. Let's not get into personal attacks, either of you. Please, Sanjay and Aman Sinha, I'd really request you not to get into
this. Whether in Lok Sabha or in Assembly, even if they come together, then also we are in no difficulty at all. In fact, in Assembly, there are 808 candidates contested, put together, and they could cobble up even lesser vote share than BJP. So we have no difficulty.
Okay, Ghanshyam Tiwari, would you want to answer that there's absolutely no problem even if the BSP-SP comes together for the BJP?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm saying this on back of the electoral evidence of past 2 elections.
Okay, Sanjay. Ghanshyam Tiwari.
They will have to say this.
Preeti, from our perspective, this election is absolutely clear. When this question is posed that there are many leaders, many parties and many alliances, and on the other hand there is just BJP, the interesting fact over there is that BJP is a Gathbandhan of 47, yet it is not called a Maha Gathbandhan. It is called Modi Sarkar. So that shows that Gathbandhan does not exist. It is one man's supremacy. As far as we are concerned, we believe parties across the country have worked to build an atmosphere of change because of poor governance and misleading of Modi Sarkar and the detriment they have caused to various institutions. And it is, as a result, the mandate would be a mandate of change. We are not looking at this mandate from who the Prime Minister should be. Rather, the fact that there should be a change, and as a result of that, the parties who build that momentum for change will elect a
okay, I want to go back for a quick. Okay, I want to go back for a quick comment and come back to all of you. And Ajit, very quickly, would you put this in perspective? Where does this leave the Congress? Because the Congress might want to go after all 80 seats, but what seems to be, it just might end up with only 2.
Preeti, the truth is, in a 3-party contest or a 3-cornered contest, it is very difficult to beat the BJP within UP. Remember, in the last assembly election, the BJP had 43.5% vote. Even if you add up pure arithmetic SP-BSP vote, that amounts to less than 40%. You cannot beat the BJP in a 3-cornered contest, number 1. Number 2, the SP is a divided party. Akhilesh Yadav versus Shipal Yadav. And now Shipal Yadav is cozying up to Congress. So you will have a 3-cornered contest in which, according to the Cube law, the number of seats ends up tripling or 4 times than the percentage vote. So the number 1 player, which is the BJP, will end up sweeping the entire Lok Sabha seats, whereas the Congress, the last player, will end up doing very badly. If this simple arithmetic Congress doesn't understand and BSP, SP doesn't understand, then I would argue they are living in a fool's paradise.
Right.
You have to have a bipolar contest in order to defeat the BJP.
Jitendra Tripathi, a little too early to put out those posters just yet. Should have waited a while before those posters were published.
No, ma'am, I do respect the views of Mr. Ajit Jha, but I just want to submit how can you presume that the 43% vote of BJP will remain with them in this election also. Mr. Modi has failed on every front, all fronts. He has delivered, he has not at all delivered whatever he has promised. It is high time that Mr. Modi comes out with his report card. He has failed on every front. He has failed on the front of farmers. He has failed on the front of Lokpal. He has failed on the front of Article 370. He has failed on the front of providing the full statehood of Delhi and so many other. Where are the smart cities? Where is the bullet train? No promise has been
I want to quickly,
so
I'm going to just go into a quick break, but I want to bring in Sanjay Jha for once.
These 43%
Okay, Jitendra Tripathi,
35%.
Sanjay, I just want to come in for a quick comment from you. You
And
say that you're going to
BJP
fight
will
this
be
together as a...
wider.
Sanjay, you're saying you're fighting together as a Mahagathbandhan. You're not fighting UP, is what was Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad said as a Mahagathbandhan. You're taking on the SP and the BSP. So where does that leave the Congress?
Well, you know, Preeti, let me tell you, we respect the regional aspirations of all our potential partners. But if you can't have
So you
a
think
pre-poll understanding, you
SP
can
and the
definitely have a
BSP are still
post-poll
potential
coalition.
partners for the Congress?
The fact is that we respect the... I would say so with extreme confidence. They are supporting us already in Madhya Pradesh. They are also supporting us in Rajasthan. I think there is an ideological compatibility. I think end of day, the BJP is a danger to India. And I think all of us have understood
I need to close the show,
reality.
Sanjay, but
look
with
at the way they have destroyed every institution
But what
of our
you've
country.
told me does
and
seem
I do
then
believe that all opposition
that
parties
going after
are
all
on the
80
same
seats is
page.
possibly strategy then. Then it's strategy. All right, we're going to go into a quick break. I'm totally short of time now. Thank all our panelists for joining us. Gentlemen, this is not the last that we've heard of this debate, but the latest, of course, is that the Samajwadi Party has ceded one more seat to a possible ally of the SP and the BSP, the RLD, one more seat given to them. Will they comply? Because they're still hankering for one more, which the BSP is not willing to give. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.